Hello students, in the previous class we have seen the stack data structure. By definition, what is a stack? Stack is a data structure which operates with the principle of last in first out or LIF. LIF. The last item into the list is the one first to be removed. So if any data structure works with this principle, the item which is inserted latest is to be removed first. So usually inserting an item and deleting an item from the stack are the common operations on stacks. So where do you insert? Inserting an item should happen only at one end, which is called the top end of the stack. And in the same way, deletion of an item, removal of an item also must happen on the at the same end, which is called the top. So insertion and deletions will happen at the same end, which is called the top of the stack. So that is why it is also said to be last in first out. Right? For example, if you take a pile of books, right, like this, placed on the top of a table like this. So when you place a new book, so this is the way you place a new book. Insert a new item on this one, right? The new book still over this. When you have to remove the items, the last added item is this one. Remove first, correct? And then the next item. This is the top end of the. This is the bottom end of the stack. So the pile of books. So remove one more item, right? Like this. This is the top now, right? Operation has to happen only at the top end. And there is the top item. Remove this, right? Insertion here only. Removal from the top, right? Now there is only one item in the book, or in the stack, only one book. Remove this itself is the top. Bottom is also same. So remove that. Right? Now the stack is empty. Right? So this is what the common stack operations, insertion and deletion I am explaining you with the help of the pile of books on a table. Right? Now one item inserted into the stack. Now it contains, so far it is empty. Right? The stack is having no items, so empty. Now one item inserted. Insert one more at the top only, right? Like this, right? Insert one more item here only, right? I cannot insert here at the bottom or somewhere in between. No, that is not the operation of a stack. So here, right? Like this. You go on inserting at the top end only. Now you might have observed when you go on adding items, right? The number of items goes on increasing, correct? The variable top we must take, correct? For that, let me discuss how to represent the stacks in memory. So stacks, anyway, definition you know it. How stacks are represented in memory. Applications also you have seen in the last section. Stacks can be represented in memory in two ways. One, static representation. Static representation. Second one is dynamic representation. Dynamic representation. Now first let us see static representation. Static representation is done using arrays. So this is also the array representation. You have seen an array is a static structure. Right? The demerits of array you have seen. Merits also you have seen. Array is a static structure. What do you mean by this? It contains fixed number of items. Once you fix the size of an array during its declaration, at compilation the size is fixed. Maybe suppose A of 25. Only 25 items at the maximum you can process with that array. Now when we use an array to represent a stack, it becomes a static representation. The other one is dynamic representation. Dynamic is, it is done using linked list. Linked list. You know, linked list is a dynamic data structure which you will be studying at the last section of this chapter. Right? Now let us see the static representation of a stack using arrays. Now when you draw the memory layout using an array, so now array is used to represent a stack. How is that? We will see. Let us take an array of 5 items. Now, when we just created the array, we say the empty stack is created. Just we have created an array. What do you mean by creating an array statically? We have allocated memory so as to store 5 items. Suppose like this, int a of 5. This. So far we have not inserted any item into that. Right? Now just we have created a stack using an array. Array means we have to fix the size. So this one is a stack we call. Right? This one is a stack. Then at present how many items are there? 0. Stack is empty. Correct? How to insert one item? Suppose we insert one item like this. 10 is the new item inserted. This end is the top end. Top, right? Top end. Index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know it. We have inserted one item into the stack. So this 10, which is at the index 0. Right? Now, initially, when the stack is empty, we will take the top variable is equal to minus 1. Correct? So top is equal to minus 1 means the stack is empty. Correct? The status of the stack at any point of time, whether the stack is empty or it is partially full or if it is completely full. Now stack empty is denoted using top is equal to minus 1. So usually the variable is top, or it is also taken as max stack, right? Max stack. Max stack or max simply. Altogether these variables is the top or max. Right? Max stack is the total number of items. So in this case 5. Top indicates the latest item present in the stack. So we require two variables here. Right? Operation on a stack will be done only at the top end. Now when you add one more item, suppose you add one more item, 20. So it has to be at the next location because we are having an array. Correct? Where do you store the item? In the next location. Right? So index 1. The top becomes now this one. Right? So earlier top was minus 1 when it was empty. When you added first item, the index is 0. So top is the index location which indicates the position of that item. Right? Now top was 0. Now top is right? 1. When you add one more item, 30, right? Top becomes 2. So what you observe when you insert, right? Inserting a new item. When you insert a new item, top is equal to top plus 1. So this operation you must carry out. You are incrementing the top, correct? Then you are assigning a value to that position. The index has to be incremented. So 0 index, assign one item 10. Next increment the top, it becomes 1. Top points to 1. So usually top is a variable or a pointer which points to the topmost location of the stack where we can insert. Even deletion also. Insert one more, increment the top first, then assign the item. Which is the top item now? Top item is 30. Suppose you have to insert one more item. Increment the top. So far top is 2. Top becomes 2 plus 1, 3. This index. The top points this index. Insert one item, suppose 40. The new item into the stack is 40. Which is the top now? Item 40. Index 2. Top indicates the position. Top item is 40. Correct? Now if you can you insert one more item into this? Yes. Because there are 5 maximum items. Max stack or max, simply sometimes max is the number of items in the stack. Maximum. Yes, we can increment the top. Top becomes 4. So insert one more item. So thus we have inserted 5 items into the stack. Top has become 4 now. Now, can you insert one more item into this stack? You can see here. You cannot insert it because the stack is full. Now the stack is full. Right? When you have the empty stack, top is minus 1, we denote. When the stack is full, how much is top? Top is n minus 1, correct? Top is n minus 1. So, stack full status is indicated using n is top is equal to n minus 1. So this is the top. You see, top is n minus 1 is equal to top. So top becomes the last index n minus 1. Then we say the stack is full. I hope you have understood this concept. So now insertion is over. Deletion. How do you delete? Deleting an item also happens at the same end top. You know it. So that means which item should be deleted from the stack? The top item only. You cannot delete other items when there is the topmost item, because it is the principle of operation of the stack. Now delete. So deleting means removing this, decrementing the top. Correct? So deletion or removal is top is equal to top minus 1. Correct? So the deletion operation is given by the expression top is equal to top minus 1. So when you remove this item is removed and top points to item 3. Correct? The index 3. When you delete one more item, decrement top. Top becomes top minus 1. Now the top is 3. Right? Top is 3. Topmost item. Decrement. Top becomes 2. So this is the topmost item. Index remains. Right? So this is not reference. The topmost item is 3. There are only 3 items. You have removed that. You are not accessing the other index. The top index available is 2. Remember, when you represent a stack using an array, the topmost item is the latest item available. That means you should not refer to an index beyond the top. Understand this, correct? Static anyway. Once you have declared 5 locations will be there initially. Right? But the item is present only at index 2, which is the top item. You should not refer to items beyond that. Right? That's all. So top is this. When you delete one more, 30 will be deleted. Now, can you delete 20 before deleting 30? You cannot, because it is the stack you are representing. So thus, restricting to the conditions like when we take an array, fixed number of items are allocated, can be accommodated into the array. Insertion should happen at the top end only, and removal also must happen at the top end. So with respect to these conditions, the array is represented as a stack in the memory. So when the stack is empty, naturally it goes on decrementing. Right? Top becomes 2, 1, 0. 0 means one item is there. So suppose there is only one item you have seen at index 0. One item is there. Even if you delete that item also, then top becomes minus 1. So top minus 1 indicating the stack is empty. Correct? So the common operations, insertion and deletion, can happen only at the top, and they are carried out using the expression top is equal to top 1 plus 1 for inserting, top is equal to top minus 1 for deletion operation. Right? Now the stack is empty. I have seen the stack full means top is n minus 1. When you are trying to insert one more item when the stack is full, it is not allowed naturally. Why? Because static structure. You have taken an array. You cannot insert any item beyond the full last index. It is already full. Correct? Next we are going to have two algorithms, insertion and deletion. In insertion we are checking that condition first. If the stack is full, we cannot insert, we have to quit. In case if it is not full, we can increment the top and assign the item to the top position. We will see that. Now let us see how to represent a stack using the linked list, dynamic representation. Second one, dynamic representation using linked list. What is a linked list? In the next section, at the end of this, we are going to study linked list in detail. But here, a stack can also be implemented using a linked list. Linked list is a dynamic data structure which is a collection of nodes, items called nodes, where each node is linked with another node using pointers. So it is a linear collection of items called nodes which are linked using pointers. So thus you know advantages of pointers. During the memory allocation, when you take pointers, it is possible to allocate memory dynamically, correct? As and when we require a data item to be stored or processed in a program, at the runtime, we can make use of pointers, right? Allocate the memory and the pointer for that is written, and there we can manipulate the data. So at the time of execution of the program, we can either add on items, go on adding items, or remove the items. Right? Memory need not be fixed in advance. That is the advantage. Now let us draw the representation of the linked list. Here nodes. What are nodes? Each node of a linked list contains two sections. This is called node, right? It is called data point. Each node contains two sections. This is the data section and this is the link section. It is a pointer section which contains a pointer to the next item. So this is a link field, right, which contains a pointer or address of another such node. So this contains a pointer. So diagrammatically I represent using this block diagram. Each node containing two sections, two parts. One part containing the data section and one part containing the address. This is called link section or the next section. The pointer to the next item of the list. So this is data and the link to the next like this. So any number of nodes can be linked like this. So here also data section and the link section to the next such node. So this is a pointer to the next data. Now how do you represent the last node? If this is the first node, how do you represent the last node? When the list ends, the last node contains the address field as null. So how do you mark the end of the linked list? By having null in the pointer field of the last node. So wherever you have the null value in the pointer field or the link field, that indicates that is the last node of the linked list. Now here we take a pointer like head, star or head. Right? Head is a pointer which has the address of the first node. Right? To process, to manipulate, to operate the linked list, we require the pointer which stores the address of the first node. So this is node 1, this is node 2, node 3 and node 4. This is the last node because null is there. So this is a pointer as I told, start, which contains the address of the first node. Data can be whatever the user wants to process, maybe integers or maybe composite data items, whatever, it may be structure, it can be object, whatever. So this is what we want to process, which everything is present in the data section. And there should be at least one section, right, which contains the address of, right, the pointer to the next similar node. How to implement the nodes, how to implement data structures, linked lists, nodes, how to create nodes, that we shall see in the next section anyway. So when you have a linked list, this can be used to represent a stack. How is that? By stack operation is the same, right? Stack insertion is done at the top end, deletion is done at the top end only, both at the same end. So when you begin with, when there is no linked list, suppose there are no other nodes, there is only just empty linked list without any node. You start creating the first node. Create a first node. Put some data item into that. And the link field contains null. That is the only node there now. Correct. Create another node. Suppose this one I have created another node. How is that? Using dynamic memory. Create one more node. And the data component you add, the link field, right, join with the previous. So this one should contain the address of the newly created node now. That is how you can link. Correct? So this is the new node now. New node. Newly added. So this was earlier added. That is the top now. Top is incremented now. Right? Top incremented. This becomes the top node. Correct? Second node inserted. Then the link field of that one must contain null. When you create a fresh new node, the link field contains null. When you are creating one more node, then the null field of its previous must have the address of the newly created node. That is how it is attached. So thus you go on attaching the newly created node to the previous node. How? By storing the address of or the pointer of the newly created field in the previous node. Address of the next node. Here it must contain the address of the next added node, new. So you go on adding the new nodes. This is the new node. Then add one more, like this is the new node, right? Add one more, like this is the new node. Go on creating new nodes and attach it to the previous node. That is how you can insert items one by one. So inserting item is, so which is the top and then the latest node position. That is the top item. Similarly, while deleting, remove the items from the top only, from the last. So this is the tail of the linked list or the end of the linked list. This is the beginning of the linked list or the head, starting point. Now when you delete the items from this side, one by one, after deleting this one only you can delete this one because you have to delete from the top end only. So this is the top end of the stack. So deletion, top end you delete. Deleting means disconnect this pointer. So instead of this node containing the pointer of the next node, now you store null here. Right? Null. That means it is getting deleted. It is as good as getting deleted. Why? Because null field marks that this is the last node. Correct? So this becomes the top node. So top is getting decremented. Top is top minus 1. Right? Next, deleting this one means, so here you must delete this and here instead of the link you must have the null here, null. Correct? This is the top node. So the linked list contains only 2 nodes. So here also by manipulating the links, the pointers, it is possible to insert items into the linked list, inserting at the top end, and deletion also the nodes from the top end. Top getting decremented to the previous node like this. Hope you understood this. So thus a stack can be represented in memory using 2 ways. Static structure using arrays, dynamic structure using linked list. So linked list, even for the next data structure, it is a similar queues. Linked list can also be used to represent the queues by properly setting the operations. Like we have seen for a stack, operation has to happen only at the top end. That is what we have to ensure in a linked list also. So hope you understood this. So in the next section, we write the operations on stacks we have seen, and the 2 operations, popular operations, most expected, like pop, push and pop. So this we will see in the next section.